All right, hey everyone. So I'm out here, Southern Oregon, 105 today. Holy crap! But the weight loss needs to not stop. Um, I wanted to do a short video about Steven Crowder. Now, I've been watching his show, Louder with Crowder, ever since the days of Not Gay Jared, and that's 5-6 years. And now a lot of people are jumping on the anti-Crowder bandwagon. Now, those on the left, they call him, hateful, bigot, a racist, whatever. And a lot of these people are the same people who like to ban jokes because they're offensive. The main thing right now that well, there's two things. One, there's the video of him with his wife, and he's being an ass. Let's just be honest. And there's the things that Dave Landau came out and said about how he was treated with Steven Crowder. Now, about his wife, first off, a lot of y'all haven't gone through a divorce. And being with a partner, means that they are going to see every side of you. And if something like that is the worst, I mean, it kind of sucks, right? But we don't have the full context of the video. We see his wife is pregnant, and we learn that apparently the medicine for the dog is bad for pregnant people, right? And so she doesn't want to do it, and he says, well, it's your duty. You need to do your wifely duties. He said, put on some gloves and do it. And apparently if he was upset that, if she took the car, he wouldn't have one. He would be stuck at home. He wouldn't be able to visit his family and all of that. Now, things you need to keep in mind. One, the wife's attorney has released this video. So she probably knew that that camera was there. He might have known. But I think him being an ass, he's, upset that he's going through a lot. But I don't see this as a huge problem. I don't see him as abusing his wife, problematic. You know, every guy is an ass. I mean, every wife is an ass. That's just what happens. And when you have disagreements, that just naturally occurs. Now, far be it from me from defending somebody when they're being unfair. For example, I'm not. My interest in Crowder has gone down a little bit because of his work schedule. He does 4 days a week, and a lot of people. He took July off, and now it's in the mid-August, and he just started doing his stuff, and everyone's like, "Well, what the hell? I paid for Mug Club in July, and then they went on a break." And I think that's one of the reasons why the whole contract thing happened, right? It wasn't just the money, and it wasn't just the AdSense. But the fact that they said you have to do a show 5 days a week, you have to read ads, which those ads are annoying, but you can always skip through them. But I think he wasn't big on the work ethic because he wanted to be able to do what he wants. He wants to go out and do Change My Minds. He wants to, and I, as a listener, I prefer a morning show over those comedic skits and all of that stuff. No, I'd rather hear what he has to say every day about the topics that are happening. And so do a lot of people. The Change My Minds are great, but some of these things, like he'll do an advertisement and like a 5-minute advert and for a future thing, and that's it. That's all you get for the day. It's like, holy crap. I used to pay for Mug Club and I don't anymore. I have my mug at home, but I'm not on the protect Steven at all cost wagon. I think it is important for us conservatives to have somebody out there who is, sharing their voice and making their opinions heard and fighting. This whole thing with him linking with Alex Jones, I think it's brilliant. I think it's awesome. But there's a lot of things going on in his life. The whole Dave Landau thing, I read everything, watched everything. I saw how Dave was talking about. Now there's some things like the light, right? Apparently, allegedly, Steven Crowder had this light that it would come on, that he would push underneath his desk or something, and it would mean that Dave couldn't talk. Well, think about Crowder. He does monologues and he talks and stuff like that. And some people are saying, "Oh yeah, because he didn't want Dave to overshadow him." Well, no, Crowder is. It's called Louder with Crowder. It's his show. Dave can have a show if he wants. He doesn't choose to do that. Dave was there for the comedic relief. Honestly, I thought Dave was kind of funny sometimes, but some of y'all are losing your mind over him. I don't. I've seen Dave stand up, and I like the whole werewolf mental health facility joke. I like that one, but some of Dave's stuff, I'm just not a big fan of. And if you want to talk about stand up, Crowder is definitely that's not his calling either. So yes, I'm more of the defense of Crowder, but I wouldn't stick with him through anything, and I don't think we should stick with by anybody when they're doing the wrong thing. Right now, I think that Crowder is an important voice, but this whole Dave Landau thing, also he said something to the effect of I don't know if he said I own you or something like that. He yelled at Dave and all of that. He wouldn't promote his shows. He wouldn't allow him to promote his shows, which is weird because every time Dave was on there, I saw Crowder talk about his shows. He's like, "Oh yeah, he's going to be here, here, and here." So I've never seen a show where Dave was on that he didn't get to promote his show. That was weird. I don't know if Dave has some legitimate concerns if he was paid by somebody to do this. But honestly, I think he's a complicated guy. He's going through a lot right now. And a lot of people are alleging that he was unfaithful. But ever since he's been handed divorce papers, people didn't know when he was handed divorce papers. And since then, he's been going out on dates. Well, people took this as him cheating on his wife, but no, they have been separated for a while, and he's doing his own thing. Now, do I think the video with his wife is a good look? No. I wouldn't have my wife do the medicine or whatever. I guess he thinks because he's putting his neck out there, doing all this stuff, his wife, the least she can do is do this. But, I mean, I work, I go to school, and my wife goes to school. She cooks because nobody wants to eat my cooking, including me. And I do the dishes. And her and I both clean the house. But we both share in the responsibilities. But here he's the sole provider and making good money. And his wife is at home, and he thinks that she should perform the wifely duties. I agree. I'm a traditionalist. However, I don't agree that, using medicine, even with gloves, medicine that could be harmful to a pregnancy, I don't agree that that should be done. Um, the way he spoke to her, well, I don't love you. We don't know where that was in the relationship. We don't know if it was at the end or whatever or what happened. We need more context. Right now, he said that he can't talk about it because of the whole divorce situation. And that is very true. Right now, when you're in the public eye and you're going through a divorce, you can't speak on certain things because then, and his wife's attorney, his ex-wife Hillary's attorneys apparently broke confidentiality by showing that video. It's interesting that that was the only video that they showed. If that's the worst of Crowder, then I don't see any reason why, but I get it, whatever. The problem is you have so many people jumping on the bandwagon. So many people who want to cancel him, especially those on the left. I mean, I'm sure Vosh and the Young Turks, like Cenk Uygur, I'm sure they would love him gone. And, they laud things like racist and all this stuff, phobic and all of that at him because they're trying to use morality. Isn't it funny how those like a decade ago who said that there was no such thing as objective morality are now calling upon the idea of morality to say that those who don't agree with them are immoral or evil? I got one leftist with that. I said, hey, do you believe in objective morality? Because moral law means there has to be a moral lawgiver. And no, I don't think that. Like, okay, do you think Trump is objectively evil? Well, yeah. Okay, I thought you said you don't believe in objective morality. And they're like, oh, come on. And it's like, no, you can't just say, oh, come on. This whole morality thing is a catch-22. It's either you believe in it and use it, or you don't believe in it and you don't use it. You can't have both. The left always has wanted their cake and ate it too, but some of them eat a lot more cake than they should. But yeah, with me, what happens with me and Crowder, I would I'll watch his shows for like the first 15 minutes every other day now. Um, I don't know how to explain it, but they're just not as engaging anymore. And all the time he's taken off and all of that, it kind of soured me a little bit. Um, but as an individual, I don't support individuals. I support the idea of them, and I support the idea of Crowder. I hope nothing worse comes out, but I think there's good and bad to Crowder, just like everybody. And so far, I think he's doing more good than bad. Of course, the left would say everything about him is bad. I mean, just look at Gerald Morgan. Gerald, today is August, um, I forget what it is, August 16th or something like that, or 14th or 15th, whatever. Anyway, it's a Monday. And after the show, Gerald said, I'm going to be responding to some of these things on Twitter. And he responded to some of the employee concerns about how apparently they had a leak and they identified 2 people as potentially being the problem, and 2 of those people left, right, without signing NDAs and said, I only want to communicate through email. Well, this obviously is because they want a record of things. They don't want to do it in person, and they want to be able to show the media and all that. They might have a contract through somebody, whatever, Daily Beast or whoever. And so now any contact with them has to be, seen. I absolutely don't think that it's a problem for them to protect their interests, because look at what they're going up against. They're going up against the left. Funny how the left says, oh, if you're innocent, you shouldn't have to hide anything. You shouldn't need NDAs and all of that stuff. Then when it comes to them, oh, you better believe they have NDAs, because there's so much nefarious crap going on. And that's the double standard they have, If you're innocent, you shouldn't need anything. Well, no one needs a lawyer or protection more than the innocent. Anyway, my final ruling as of now is that I think that Crowder has made some mistakes. I think it's possible maybe sometimes that he has misspoken to Dave Landau, and that thing with his wife wasn't a good look. But I don't think he's a bad person. I don't think he's evil or anything like that. People don't understand how messy divorces are. When my ex-wife, things got really, really bad. I didn't do anything, and we split up. Meanwhile, they were unfaithful, and if I did anything that, like for example, wanted furniture or something like that, or the big screen TV, she said that she would tell my commander that I'd been with other people. even though she was the one who, you know, it gets messy. Anyways, thanks for listening this long if you are. I'll talk to you all later. God bless and love you all.